Right, this is your next stage. We'll just look at a little bit of interior joinery here. I'm going to use something called layers. I've set up a layer here for what's called carcass 2, and all that is by selecting the addition sign, it comes up with a dialog box with a highlighted, and then you just type in the name of that layer. There we've got, so I'm just going to deselect that because we don't want that, but I'm going to be drawing in carcass 2. And all the layers are is, if I'm on carcass 2 here, I'll select carcass 1, and we can remove all the elements, so I can just see my carcass there with the doors and with worktop, and just by checking the box you can either make it visible or non-visible. Right, so what I'm going to do is make sure I'm in the carcass 2 layer, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to stick too much to sizes. This is purely just so you can see the process. So there's my base panel. What I'm going to do is just going to pop that up to 18mm, and then I'm going to reduce this side by 36, and that's 18 from this side, 18 from this. Now obviously if that's 575 deep, I want a bit of a distance at the back from a scribe panel, so I'm just going to drag that in about 40mm, and then we want a groove putting in for back panel. Bring that in by say 25, and then all I'm going to do is from there make sure we're on the blue axis, 9mm and 9mm. So what I can do there is, again, using the push pull tool, I'll try not to use the shortcuts too much, and then you can see what I'm selecting, and now we've got a groove. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make that a group. It's good as you go along to make groups or make components, otherwise you end up with sticky areas, which for those that's new to it you will find quite a bit. You'll draw something, you'll go to move it, and you'll drag half your drawing. We've covered it earlier on. Just try and keep to groups, keep to components, and you won't have any issues. So there's that panel there. So what I'm going to do now is so we've got on the blue axis. Now remember, you can select the axis you're on, constrain into plane. I've just selected the blue axis there, so I've pressed up on my arrow keys. So what I'm going to do is across there, my height is first in the dimensions box, followed by my width. So the height that I want, for sake of argument, say is about 850, say. And we'll call it 600. Again, bring it up 18mm. So these are not actually set out for any carcass sizes, these are just so you can follow for a dimension. Now if you look, because I've used the same start point, you can see there, tracing across, and it's giving me 9mm. all the way across. So if you look there, I've got that panel. So what I can do is, that panel, I can actually make a group, select move, press Control. Now if I select from this endpoint, I've now just got both sides. So what I'm going to do there is, I'm just going to rotate that round, make sure we're on the correct axes for turning, and I selected the green there, which is the left cursor. And then what I'm going to do is, because if I've got legs, it depends how you're going to build this, if it's just a 50mm frame or a 100mm frame at the bottom, or if you've got 150mm legs. So if I lift that up there, so what have we got here after it's built these? They're 850, so really, say you're 900 to the top with your worktop, so really I just want to drop those down, say 50mm. So if I want to edit them, I have to open them up. So just select that and drop them down. 50mm, open up, select, push pull tool, down 50mm. So what I can do now is select, I'm going to take the move tool from there, so I've got a basic carcass. So what I can do is, now I want a rail across the top, so I'm just going to come in here, I'm onto there. Now we can see we're 964, so 964, and say I want a 70mm rail. I'm just going to pop that orbit round, drop it down by 18mm, and I've got my rail. Now, if I highlight, these are already groups, and if you notice there, I've just selected everything of that entity there, so I'm going to make it a group. What I'm going to do there now is I'm going to copy. So if you're like me, that likes a groove in the bottom of the rail there, what I tend to do, so let's just double check where that groove actually starts. It's 25mm in, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take this, I'm going to measure in, just make sure we open up that unit. I'm going to come in 25, and then what I'm going to do is make sure we're constrained on that blue axis, 9, 9, and 9. Select my push pull tool and just bring that all the way out through there, as you can see. So I'm just going to close that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select this. Now let me just zoom in for you there. So I've hovered with the move tool over the endpoint in the group. Now if you look, that tells me I'm on edge and I'm on the blue axis, so I'm moving it from there. Now what I've done is I've gotten to that corner. So that now lines up with that groove. So that's your basic unit. Say we come across